Can you hear me this morning, Brooklyn? Good morning, Malia. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. I had a little trouble connecting this morning. How's everyone today? Thank you, Brooklyn. Good morning, Marlasia. Oh, that's a good one, Malia. In fact, I was just looking to buy some books for my little niece and nephew, and there was a little book written about her, and I considered getting that one, or it's on my list. Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. Good morning, Arshad. So you guys behind me, think of someone that you feel has made a positive contribution to this country. And pop it in the chat. And you can even tell me why. Arshad, be thinking. Brooklyn, Malaysia, what do you think? A positive contribution. I feel like, and it doesn't have to be, I don't know, someone necessarily extremely famous, right? Maybe you had a grandparent or a great grandparent or somebody that you feel like contributed something, maybe in a war or something like that, that you'd want to share with us. Someone who you think has made a positive contribution. Now, if you guys can't think of one, then that's kind of a sad scenario. So I don't want to be sad. So you all need to think of one. No, Arshad, you can't think of anybody? Malaysia, Brooklyn. Well, somebody offered in the chat Malala Yousafzai. Do you know her? She's a Afghan girl from Afghanistan who was trying to go to school, which, in Afghanistan, they don't care often whether women get an education or not. And someone shot her, right? Someone shot her in the head, I think it was. Am I right, Malia? And she ended up surviving, and now she's an international, she fights for women's rights and social justice and things like that. So she broke the mold, right, of Afghani women and what they're supposed to be doing. Anybody else? Okay, so we have Martin Luther King Jr. Definitely, right, made a positive contribution to this country. I mean, we know that story. And if you, well, I'm assuming y'all know the story. When I was teaching history, we used to always watch his I Have a Dream speech, because sometimes our media, gives us just little like sound bites of things, and we don't see the whole picture. If you ever have an opportunity to sit down and get on YouTube or someplace and watch that whole video from beginning to end, that whole speech from beginning to end, it is transformative. It's an amazing wake up call, right? And of course, we need to know the context of the history in which he gave that speech. But it truly is, because remember, he was a reverend, so he had a really good way to deliver words, right? It's an amazing thing. So if you ever have that opportunity, I would definitely sit down and watch that. It's not very long. Watch it more than once, right, to enjoy the whole thing. All right, then we have Malcolm X. So what do we know about Malcolm X? Malcolm X was also obviously civil rights, and he just had a different way than Martin Luther King did, and much more, what do I want to say, forceful, for lack of a better word, right? And he too was gunned down. So, yeah, what can we say? I don't know. Arshad, can you think of anybody? Yes, you guys have all made some wonderful choices. Anybody else? Okay, well, while Arshad is thinking, I'm going to share my person with you. Okay. Have y'all ever heard of Representative John Lewis from Georgia, actually? Have y'all ever heard of him? Yes? Okay. What do we know about John? Now, he wasn't originally from Georgia, but he was a representative. I'm going to share my screen with you. What do we know about Congressman John Lewis? Anything? Well, he used to tell us to get into good trouble, right? In other words, stir the pot for positive change. Okay, mix things up, get stuff going. But this is a picture of him here, of course. And he was a contemporary of Martin Luther King Jr., right? And he was part of more than, what he's most famous for, I guess, is being part of more than 600 peaceful protesters that crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge in the march in Selma, Alabama. And he was originally from Alabama, I think. But if you ever have an opportunity to watch anything or learn anything, there's books written about him. There's children's books written about him. He just passed away not too long ago. He had cancer, and then eventually was, voted as congressman. But he tells a story about how when he was a little boy in Alabama, there was a local library, and at the time, things were segregated, and he wanted to go to the library to get a book, and they wouldn't let him. And that kind of set the tone for the rest of his life, in that he fought for voting rights for people, et cetera, et cetera. So if you ever have an opportunity to, I don't know if we can watch this trailer. Let's see if it'll come up. But
simple. When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, say something, do something, get in trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble.
He was always different than every member of Congress. Everybody knew what he had done. He was John Lewis.
We're marching today to dramatize to the world that hundreds and thousands of Negro citizens denied the right to vote.
Congressman Lewis gave us the blueprint to organize and to legislate.
The reason why he's effective as a leader is because he's lived it.
We made a decision to march in an orderly, peaceful, nonviolent fashion from Selma to Montgomery.
You are ordered to disperse. This march will not continue.
I was hit in the head. My knees went from under me. I thought I was going to down the bridge.
If John Lewis, as a 19, 20-year-old, wasn't doing what he did, I would not be here.
We will march with the spirit of love and with the spirit of dignity that we have shown here today.
The whole time he was in the movement, it was frightening, knowing the danger, knowing what could happen.
You cannot replace a John Lewis.
He's the most courageous person I ever met.
Too many people struggled and died to make it possible for every American to exercise their right to vote.
okay, so there's a little bit about the trailer. If you have an opportunity to ever see that, I would encourage you to do it. It's wonderful. Okay, Arshad, have you thought of someone who's made a notable contribution? So voting rights for John Lewis, right? Which of course is part of civil rights. Anybody else? Okay. What I would like for us to do today is, I'm not going to start anything new today, obviously. So I would like for you guys to go ahead and work on your project, right? We have a shorter class period today. Go ahead and work on your Afro-Latino project, who you think has made a contribution. And then I can help you figure out your, if you need to help finding information or whatever. If you need help accessing the template, whatever y'all need, just speak up and I'll be happy to help you. Give you this time to do some work. My kitty cat is having a zoomy moment. Yes, there are some links in the module that might help you choose someone that you might be interested in who's an Afro-Latino. You don't have to use anyone from those. You can pick your own, no problem. Just make sure that, like, the template that I gave you guys is just the basic information. You feel free to add whatever else you want. Have fun with it. So Brooklyn, is she part Latina? I didn't know that. If she is, I'm just asking. Rashad, are you working? What are you doing, Rashad? Oh, okay. That's cool. I just didn't know that. See, you already taught me something. I liked her. She was nice. Nice gal. I enjoyed her on TV. Malaysia, you good? Is that allowing you? Yes, I see that. Good job. So I see Brooklyn and Malaysia. I see who you guys have chosen. Malia and Arshad, who have you chosen? Oh, you haven't chosen her yet, Malia? You did. Are you thinking about her? Okay, I'm with you. Have you chosen? Okay, I see what you're reading. Have you chosen anyone yet, Arshad, to focus on? Yes. So remember, you guys, the info in the template is just like your basic stuff. You can elaborate on that as much as you like. You can add things to it. If you want to put videos, etc., etc. Change the background. Please change the background. If they wrote books, maybe something special about the book or a book. Yeah, I agree, Malia. I want you to too. Yeah. And that's why I say if you want to do your own search, that's cool. You don't have to just go by what those were just how you say helpful hints, right? Yeah. Absolutely. That's what they're for. Okay, guys, we have about a minute left. So listen carefully. This will be due on Monday, the 20th, right? Because I don't want you guys to have to, obviously, if you get it done before then, that's cool. But I don't want you to rush at doing it. So I put the 20th in, which is a Monday. And when we come back from break, we'll start our new unit, you guys, a whole new unit, right? Unidad 5. So my suggestion would be to get this done ASAP, and then that way when we start Unidad 5, we're good to go. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. Enjoy your break, you guys. That's our time for today. Thanks for working hard. Okay. Adios. It's great to see y'all. Adios. Nos vemos martes. Nos vemos martes. See ya. Adios, clase. Have a great day.